Good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us on 13 Plus. I'm Mary Coleman. Let's jump right into our story for this evening. We are talking affordable housing. As we know, it's been a major issue all across our country and is hitting families across our country as well. Now, there are some things you can do that may make some difference to your pocketbooks when it comes to paying rent, at least. Don Gee is here to help us make ends meet.
According to a study done by Harvard University's Joint Center for Housing Studies, affordability is worse than ever before. It may be cooling a bit when it comes to renters, but we know that homelessness is rising, and so are cries for help.
The landlords aren't happy about raising the rent. They know it's a difficult conversation. They know the renter doesn't want it.
Rental prices have been driven upward by a number of factors like inflation, lack of inventory, and sky-high interest rates. Jonas Bordeaux is the CEO and co-founder of Dwellsy, a home rental platform, and the co-author of the book, Everything You Need to Know About Renting But Didn't Know to Ask. All the insider dirt to help you get the best deal and avoid disaster. Bordeaux believes there are several reasons the cost of rent is rising.
It's brutal for renters. This is probably your biggest expense.
According to a Harvard study in 2022, half of U.S. renters spent 30% of their income on rent. Almost 3 in 10 households spent 50% or more.
And when that goes up, and even a 3 or 5% increase, it doesn't sound like much when you say it like that, but that can be an extra $50. An extra $75, that's a lot of money.
Bordeaux says there are ways to reduce your rent. Most just don't try them.
Negotiate it and know that you can negotiate. There's a lot of leverage that you have as a renter, particularly in a renewal situation. If you've been a good tenant, the landlord does not want you to move out.
If the landlord cannot stop the rise in the rate of your rent, then ask for something else that may pay off in your favor.
You just have to think about what does a landlord need and what do you have to give and what's expensive for the landlord and what's valuable to you.
Ask for an extra parking space if you can't get the rent you want. Maybe if you clear the snow in the parking lot, you can get a few $100s off the rent. If you are just moving in, make sure you know any upfront and ongoing fees so you won't be surprised by any unexpected charges.
In some cases, it can add up to 20 or 30% in addition to your rent.
And like anything today, protect yourself from scammers who will take your money and your identity, but leave you with nothing.
Make sure you're dealing with a real person. Make sure you see the inside of the apartment. If they can't show you the inside of the apartment, then they don't have the ability to rent it to you.
If you really want to be ready to barter for a lower price in your rent, research rent prices in your neighborhood before you talk to your landlord. Flex your good credit history or good rental history and propose to stay longer on that discounted lease. Helping you make ends meet. I'm Dawn G.
All right, friends. Well, you could totally tell what this was just a couple minutes ago, but with the sun going down, not so much. This is a look at Mount Bigelow. Nice little haze. There you go. You can kind of see some of the snow on the ground there. We're seeing that all across the area. Aaron, I was just telling viewers, you could see about a couple minutes ago what that was. Not anymore. The sun's gone down, but
Right.
we'll switch to the other view here in a little bit. But a lot of people wondering what's going on. They're excited for this weekend, but seeing today's weather, they're like, oh, what's going on for the weekend?
Well, I'm glad folks are tuning in because we've kind of tweaked the forecast a little bit for the weekend. So
okay.
it certainly pays to, continue to check back in on the forecast. The storm system is going to linger across Arizona, but the crux of the rain, that high elevation snow, certainly fell today. So we are looking at drier conditions as we head into the weekend, but our temperatures are still going to stay on the cool side. So here's the deal. As we head through the course of the night through early morning, just a slim 10% chance for rain still across Cochise County. Places like Marana, Oracle, Tucson, Green Valley, into Nogales, you still have about a 20% chance you'll see some rain. And I wouldn't even bet the house on anything measurable still in the rain gauge. But this is a look at our latest radar. We're still seeing some lightning strikes across the area, so enough instability to create a few thunderstorms still. So if you hear thunder, that means you absolutely have to stay indoors at least 30 minutes after you last hear that. In fact, we had reports of thunder snow atop the Catalinas for Mount Lemmon. You can see a little bit of snow still falling there across Catalina Highway. And at last check, Catalina Highway is open with restrictions, I think 4x4 or chains on your tires, but we know that that can change very, very quickly. So if you're thinking about going up to play in the new snow or ski at Ski Valley, which they are open this weekend and even through Monday, then you want to call ahead on those road conditions. 35 degrees there tomorrow. I would have the sunscreen and sunglasses if you're headed up to Summer Haven. And then comes Sunday, a few more clouds as we see this system rotate another round of some moisture, especially for the high country, a mix of rain and snow. 38 degrees for a high at Summer Haven on Sunday. And then on Monday, 44. So know before you go, take a picture of this. These are the numbers to keep handy if you're checking on road conditions across northern Arizona. All you have to do is dial 511. You can check on road conditions really statewide. And then specifically for Pima County, 351-3351. Otherwise, our St. Patrick's Day weekend is going to be cooler than normal. No doubt about that. Oracle, you'll be in the mid-50s. Tucson tomorrow, 66, 68 for our St. Patrick's Day. Nogales, 63 tomorrow, 64 for your Sunday. 66 in Douglas tomorrow, and then 68 on St. Patrick's Day. So Sunday for St. Patrick's Day, 68, a few sprinkles here and there. That'll put us 8 degrees below the normal mark in Tucson. And if you are headed out to that St. Patrick's Day parade or the festival, I know it's back. A lot of folks probably planning on going. 8 a.m. 49, by 11 a.m. 58, and then that festival in the early afternoon right around 64 and partly cloudy skies. So we might have a sprinkle or two here and there as this area of low pressure continues to loop over Arizona, but I would in no way, shape, or form make any adjustments to those outdoor plans other than have a jacket handy, as we're going to be on the colder side of things as this loops through. There's a look at the storm system on our First Alert Future Radar. If you're headed to, say, the Phoenix area or up into Pinal County, you might still run into some spotty showers there on Sunday. In the short term tonight, Tucson cooling to 43 with partly cloudy skies, but temps are going to drop off pretty quickly, especially across Sassabee, Nogales, into Cochise County. Temperatures near the freezing mark in Wilcox and the Sassabee area. So we are anticipating a few areas of frost tomorrow morning. If those winds die down, which we're anticipating they will, our skies will clear, that moisture will hang on, so temps will fall quickly. But with that lingering moisture, frost is possible. So places like Wilcox, Benson, Sassabee, Tombstone, Bisbee, you want to take the precautions of putting the frost clouds back on any of those sensitive plants that you might have. Be prepared to see a little bit of frost in the morning. There's your First Alert 7-day forecast. Once we move beyond the cool 60s here this weekend, 74 to start our work week, and then 76 come Tuesday and Wednesday, but definitely drier from here on out from this storm.
All right, Aaron, I have to read a comment we got from someone named Brenda on our Facebook. She said, wish the weather would stay just like this the rest of the year. Not ready for the heat wave soon. So, hey, you got a little mix of everything. Some people love it. Some people like the heat wave. So this one's a nice little mix.
Something in between the two
Yes,
would be nice,
there
right?
you go.
Not like 120 where we're sizzling, or 66, somewhere
Yep.
in between.
Exactly. Thanks, Aaron.
You bet.
Well, be sure to join us for 13 News Live at 10, where we will have your latest forecast. As Aaron mentioned, it can change by the minute, so be sure to join us. We'll also have some of your news headlines. Until then, we'll see you later.